The cloud. Okay. Hello. All right. We're going to be talking about team building today. I know last week she was talking about the body of the skincare class and doing the referral game. So today I'm going to kind of go over with you guys kind of how we share the opportunity within the parties, and also how to share the opportunity with people and build your team. So I think the most important thing with building your team is getting in front of the faces. And if you're brand new, which most of you are, your first 30 faces is kind of like on the job training. So give yourself a little bit of slack on those things, that time frame, because you're going to be getting results that may not show up right away. Like the results might show up like the next month or the next month. I always say, we do the first 30 faces, and sometimes we do enough to get frustrated, but then the results don't really start coming to sprinkling into the next 30 faces. And then the third 30 faces is where you'll go into momentum. So as far as sharing the opportunity goes, I know it can be a little bit, I remember being a brand new consultant, and I know it can be a little bit nerve-wracking. There's two ways that people can kind of go about this. The first way is if they're nervous to share, or they don't feel like they've done enough in Mary Kay yet to share with people, so they don't share at their appointments. The second way that people do this is they get so excited because they're brand new and they vomit pink all over everybody. I was the latter. And so I just came across really agenda-y. And if you've heard Bree talk about having an agenda, if you go into your appointments with the genuine focus, 100% being on the other person, sharing the opportunity is going to come really natural to you because you're going to really enjoy the appointment, and so is she. And that's going to make you guys have a connection. And then people at appointments in Mary Kay do not buy the products, and they don't always buy the opportunity. Many, many, many times they are buying you. And so before I go into showing you exactly how I would do this at my appointments, I just kind of wanted to make sure that we get the mindset part of it right, because like I said, there's two ways you could go about it. The first way being really nervous and not sharing it. The second way is, vomiting pink or coming across agenda-y. And the bottom line is that not everybody is going to want to do Mary Kay, and that's totally fine. And the other bottom line is that we don't necessarily want everybody to do Mary Kay. We do want them to, in the sense that they can get some benefits out of it. But when you are selecting a woman to be on your team, do you go into it with that mindset of, I am selecting her to be on my team because I think that she is a champion in an area of her life? Me personally, I really enjoy selecting women who do have an area of their life that they're excelling in. So whether she's a champion mom, or she's a champion at her job, or she is a champion in health or fitness, like I want someone who has proven that they stick it out and that they are not going to give up. Now, also know going into this that a third of the people who join your team are going to be what we call bag snatchers. They are going to just want the bag because it's a good deal, and they may never place a first order. They may never have their first party, and that has nothing to do with you. That's just the way that the numbers work, and it takes the emotions out of it when we know that. The second third are going to kind of dabble / be personal use, and they're kind of on their way out, and they're not really doing very much. And then the other third are going to be people who want to work it like a business. That some of those will be dabbling, some of those will be really working it like a business. But just know your numbers, the thirds, because that's going to really take the emotions out of it for you. That this is not if somebody is successful in Mary Kay, would you take responsibility for it? If you recruited somebody on your team and they were successful, would you take responsibility for that? No, right? So we can't take responsibility for her failure either. And failure is such a strong word that I don't even like to use it in reference to Mary Kay, because there is no failing in Mary Kay. Worst case scenario, and this is what I say when I'm sharing the opportunity, worst case scenario, you get your discount. You get half off your product, right? So there is no failing Mary Kay. People can just stop or they can take a break. And I have had many people on my team who have been on Mary Kay, who've done Mary Kay in the past, and they came back because, Mary Kay, there's just no opportunity like it. So let's get the mindset right first. Okay, the other mindset of it is, do you believe that Mary Kay is the best opportunity? And if you aren't in that believing state yet, the odds are is because we haven't been in front of enough faces yet for you to get the wins so that you can have that confidence piece that Mary Kay is the best opportunity out there. And you're only going to feel as good about your business as your last appointment. So remember that. Mindset is a big piece of sharing the opportunity. Number one, are we focusing 100% on her, 100% on how this is going to benefit her? I always say that telling is repelling and selling is asking questions. So when you are sharing the opportunity, it is so important not to get to a place where we are, again, that vomiting pink on people, where we're telling her about Gloria Mayfield Banks, or we're telling her about different people in our company or what our director has done, versus just coming from a place of like, tell me more about you. Spending time in the beginning of the appointment to really connect with her and asking her lots of questions. If you feel like in your appointment you're not telling enough facts, if you feel like you are not telling her enough, you're on the right track, because we really, in a really great appointment, very little facts are flowing because there's such a connection that it's just a conversation. So just go into your appointments knowing that sometimes the best recruiters in Mary Kay are the people that just started their business. Did you know that? Because what happens is you actually are excited. So enthusiasm really gets people excited. You seem like you love what you're doing, so people want to join you and they want to be a part of your team. And you don't really know a lot about the products yet, so you're not really spewing a bunch of facts at them. So you're actually at the perfect point in your business to just share every time like you're a brand new beauty consultant. So for those of you who are not brand new, just kind of take on that mindset and that attitude. Okay. So the mindset is focusing on her. Now, telling is repelling and selling is asking questions. So really just connecting with her. What do you do for a living? Tell me more about your job. Tell me what keeps you busy during the week. If time and money were no object, what would your life look like a year from now? And it's interesting that sometimes consultants go immediately to those deeper questions, but don't be canned with your responses or your questions. Just focus on really being interested in her instead of being interesting. Being interested instead of being interesting. And really just notice her. And when there's awkward silence or whatever, it doesn't have to be awkward. Sometimes the silence is more powerful than our words. Only 7% of communication is words. And so if you are thinking about what you're going to say and trying to make it perfect every time, it's never going to come out perfect, right? Even myself, like, it never comes out perfect. But people are going to feel your heart. People, what's that saying? They don't remember what you said. They don't remember what you did, but they remember how they felt, how you made them feel. So how are you making people feel in your appointments? Because I can tell you all day long the things to say when you're sharing the opportunity, but it doesn't matter what you're saying all the time. Most of the time, it's more so the energy behind the words and where it's coming from. And I know all of you have the best of intentions, and your focus is to help her be successful. And you want this so bad for her because you know how much it's done for you or how excited you are about it. But at the end of the day, we have to put other people first in our appointments. Put the people first, because they will feel it and they will build trust with you. And when they have trust with you is when they're going to be willing to ask you more about your business, because they're not going to be nervous that we're going to recruit them or get, push them to do something that they're not going to want to do. So creating that safe place from the beginning that a woman can express herself, talk about herself, and really be heard. Are you a really great listener? Are you somebody who really listens to people without interrupting? I always think of a bubble. When you're talking with somebody and you interrupt them, it pops their bubble. So sometimes new consultants, we can get really excited and we can pop everybody's bubble. So really just allowing her to be heard and connecting with her is going to set the tone for sharing the business opportunity in your appointments, and especially when you're doing career chats with your director too. And don't forget, you guys, that $1,000 giveaway is still going on. So even if it's been a few months since you've talked to somebody who had interest, even slight interest, let them know about this drawing that we're doing, that they can win $1,000 Mary Kay shopping spree. You guys, what a generous offer for them, right? And you're going to be entered to win $1,000 cash. So it's such a perfect time to be sharing the opportunity. So before I go into how I share the opportunity, why would you want to share the opportunity with people? So if you're brand new, I'm not sure if you know, but your commission can range from 4% to 36%. And that commission ranges based off of your position on the career path. We all make 50% of everything we sell, but when you add people to your team, you earn commission. So you earn 4% commission from your very first team member. And you don't even have to, when you're a consultant, you don't even have to like train her or do any of that. It's great to encourage her. And if you want to start training and step into that leadership, you can, but it's not required of you. All that you're doing is introducing her to Mary Kay, helping her get started, setting the expectation that your director is going to be sending her an email and a welcome text to set her on the right path. And really, that's it. From there, you get 4% commission of anything she orders. And if she starts with a 600 or more, you get a $50 bonus. Okay, so every qualified person you get is a $50 bonus. So if you went out and you added 5 people to your team, that's a potential $250 if they come in qualified, not including the commissions. So then we jump up once you get to a position of having 5 people on your team. You get 5 active people, meaning they've placed at 225 in the last 3 calendar months. You get 9% commission. So that really, really jumps up, and you can go on target for your first free car, which is so cool. I know Katie's super, super excited about that right now. And then from there, if you are doing your 600 Boss Babe in the month and you have 5 people on your team placing 225 or more, you will get 13% commission. Again, that is a great way to go on target for car. Let's just do an example. So every person who joins your team in Mary Kay, the average they'll start with product. Some people don't start with product. Some people start with a full store like me. And it's just very different depending on the person, but based off of company statistics, whether they come in with nothing and they buy the bag and they never buy anything for themselves at all, or they start with a full store, the average is 1,000 wholesale. So 1,000 wholesale, if you are at the 13% commission, so let's just start with the 4%. If it's 4%, you would get $40. You get your nails done. You can fill your gas tank. And again, you're not training her. You're not doing her first party. Your director is taking care of all of that. How cool is that, you guys? That's so cool. It didn't take any extra time out of your life. So get excited about team building, because I know it can be exciting to like sell the product, but sometimes when you sell the product to somebody and then they have interest in the opportunity, it's really tempting to continue just to sell them the product. But if they have interest in the business, this is something that could be paying you if she's ordering consistently for a very, 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 very long time, the rest of your life. I mean, think of the person who recruited Carol Anton. She remained, I think she was a beauty consultant, and she got paid commission every time Carol Anton would order. Okay. So let's just do, if it's $1,000 and you gold medaled, you added 5 people to your team within a month, you did your Boss Babe 600 or more. And if you're working it like a business, I believe you are not going to be happy with your business if you are working it like a business, not just to dabble and make a little extra income here and here, I'm talking to the people who are on this call right now, who are watching this recording right now, that you want to do big things in Mary Kay. So $1,200 in sales, you keep that profit and then you place your order to the company with that 50%. $600 profit, you want to be making minimum $150 extra a week, right? So I'm talking to the top people. So I believe 600 is the minimum if somebody's working at a business that you're going to be placing every month, as long as you're in front of those faces, right? So with an average of $50 a face, how much is that? So let's say $1,200 in sales divided by $50 a face. 24 faces, you guys. It all comes back to the power start, right? 30 faces in 30 days. So in front of 24, and that could be, if that was parties of 6, that's only 4 parties, you guys. That's 1 party a week for an extra $150 per month. So per week. So that could, $600. What could you do with $600? Okay, so that's just the first thing. So you're already making $600 from your sales. Then when your team comes and you have, let's say you gold medaled, and just based off the company average, that's 5,000 production based off of 1,000 per new team member. And then you are going to make 13% when you place 600 and each of them are placing 225. That would be $650, you guys. $650 plus your 600. That's $1,250 from doing literally 3 hours of work a week with your booking, coaching, selling, and recruiting. Like, seriously, you guys, like, can you get excited about $1,250? You could totally have a cash Christmas. Again, that's working like 3 hours, maybe 5 a week, but I think it's like 3 hours, seriously. Okay, so that's why you want to team build. Then when you get into a directorship position and you have 24 people between your team and your people's team, then you get a 300% commission raise. And so that can go way up. So super exciting. And that's how you earn a pink Cadillac and make $12,000 checks, right? Okay, so going in with the mindset of team building and having that be the focus. If you want to work Mary Kay as a career, there will be a shift for you. Sales, nothing happens until somebody sells something. You really want to make sure in your appointments that you are focusing on selling the product first. So you first connect with them, make sure you're focusing on the connecting. Then you go into sharing the product. Oh, am I hearing something? I'm going to mute you out. Okay. I just thought, I was like, is there a video playing on my computer? So you want to share, so you want to connect with them, number one, because nothing else will happen if you don't focus on building that relationship first. Then once you've done that, you want to really sell the sizzle with the skincare. Like, how much do you love the skincare? If you don't sell the skincare, they will not believe that they can sell it. They will not believe other people will buy it if they won't buy it. Does that make sense? Okay, so for you, when you signed up, why did you sign up? Odds are probably because you loved how your skin felt when she did this. And then you were like, okay, I want half off of my product. Why wouldn't I do that? So that is the first thing. You want to make sure that you're selling the skincare and then holding the skincare close to your body, all right? Because that's showing people how much you love it, right? Okay, so let's go into now the basics of, all right, I'm in my skincare class. I've done the referral game, and now it's time for me to share the opportunity. So there is a shift that happens later on when you want to step into leadership where you're focusing even more so on team building than you are selling. But when you're a brand new beauty consultant, focus on selling, but pay attention, because one person at every skincare class, we cannot prejudge. One person out of every skincare class is a potential team member. That means 1 out of every 5 people will be somebody we can share the opportunity with to get entered into that $1,000 drawing. And then 1 out of 5 shares, minimum, sometimes more, will sign up. So, and booking the sharing appointment, I know Bree's going to do a separate thing on closing questions just because we don't probably have enough time for that today. We'll talk about that later. So, sharing the opportunity, we've set it up. We're finished with the referral game, and now it's time to share the opportunity. It is so important to be using a flip chart at your appointments. The reason is because you become duplicatable with this, and it helps with your team building. Did you know that your entire skincare class, she's watching you to see if she would have any interest in what you do? She is, the entire time. So making everything look really simple and easy and not overcomplicating things with facts and figures with every skincare, focusing too much on the details. Details are good, but focusing too much on them can be kind of hold us back. Okay, so we got through the referral game, and now we're to the starter kit. Okay, so now what I do is I go ahead and I pass out these laminated. You can get them laminated at Office Depot for very inexpensive with our Mary Kay discount, by the way. It has a picture of the starter kit, and Bree's going to send out that form for you. We used to use the top 10 reason one. I do love the simplicity of this. I do find it's easier and people come up with more questions with this. So I personally believe that if you are newer and you want something really simple that they're going to come up with a lot of questions, you might want to stick with the 10 reason one. If you would like, though, Bree recently uploaded this, which it is awesome with the cars because people get really motivated by the free cars. One side is the starter kit and one side is like breaks down how much you make in a week. It just kind of keeps it really simple. I do like that. But I think the print is smaller, so I don't see people reading it as much. So my opinion might change with that. So go with the one that you attach to. Bree's attached to this one. I'm kind of attached to this one. Okay. So, sorry, I got a text. All right. So we're going to go through now. Before anything, they still don't know anything about Mary Kay. They don't know anything about the business. They probably know a little bit about the company from us talking about it in the beginning, which is really important. So they don't really know anything yet. So what are they sold on right now? They're sold on you and they're sold on the product, right? And if they're not, this next part can feel awkward. So pay attention to that when you're new, because it's on the job training. Remember, like you're going to be learning. And I always say if we don't really learn a lot in the successes. We learn from the setbacks, right? So when things don't go the way that we planned. So it's okay when you're new for things not to go perfectly. It's okay. It'll make you a stronger consultant. And the more mistakes you make, the more successful you become in Mary Kay, for real. Because you learn fast, as long as you're willing to keep showing up. Okay, so this is the roll-up bag. I personally have seen a big jump in recruiting since we put all the products that are in the starter kit in here. So inside of here, I have the 2 skincare sets, the eye cream, eye makeup remover, mascara, translucent powder, the full-size satin hand set, and then the 5 CC creams at the bottom. And I pull this out, and I say, okay, guys, and I hold up the skincare, and I say, do you guys remember how much I said that the skincare set was? Or I'll say, do you guys remember how long I said the skincare set lasted? Remember holding close to you? They'll be like, oh, 4 to 6 months. I'm like, yeah. And it's only $110. Raise your eyebrows. Higher the eyebrows are raised, the more excited you'll feel and the more excited they'll feel. So it's only $110. Don't say $110. The word dollar triggers people. It's only $110 for 4 to 6 months. So that's a really great deal, a great value. It comes with the cleanser, the day, the night, and the eye cream. So that's $110. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you what comes in our starter kit. You know, there are no quotas and have-tos in Mary Kay. So some people just start because they want the discount, and some people decide they want to start because they want to work at like a business. There are no have-tos, so you kind of get to decide. And I know what you're thinking. I know that you said you're a nurse. Like, bring it back. I know that you said that you love your job. It's okay. If this is not for you, no worries. Just think of somebody who it might be for. But I will say, Me personally, I never in a million years thought I would be doing this. So kind of be listening and hear if there's anything that you think would be a good fit for you or somebody you know if not for you. So you're taking it away when you do that. Very important. Keep it light. No pressure. No, oh my gosh, you'd be so great at this. I'm so excited to share this with you. You're breathing agenda all over them, right? So I used to do that all the time. So because I was so excited and I love Mary Kay so much, I wanted them to experience it. Okay, so I'll be like, the starter kit, everything in here is only 100. Eyebrows, 100, 110, 100. So let's take a look. I just want to show you just the value and what comes inside of the starter kit. Okay, so then you unroll your bag and you go, how much do you think it would cost you if you were to buy all the products in these pockets? And then some of them will say 100, 500, 700. And then you go, $400. All of those products, that would cost you $400. All of these products come in the starter kit for 100. And then you wait and you let that sink in. And when I'm doing that too, before I even tell them, I go through and I say, okay, this is what products are in here. 2 Miracle sets. Eye Makeup Remover Translucent Mascara. The satin hands that you got to try at the beginning. It's super nice. And the CC creams. Then I say, how much do you think that all of that would cost? And then they say, and then I say $400. And they're like, wow. I'm like, yeah. So then you just roll it right back up and you put it away. Because you're taking it away. And then you say, and not only does it come with $400 in products, it also comes with all your sales tools, mirrors, cloths, trays, samples, all of that stuff. And then you say, and I'm like Mary Poppins. You don't have to say this part if you don't want. And I'm like Mary Poppins. I pop out of the bag. And I'm here to help you with anything that you need in your business. So that's just to kind of show you guys it's like the best Groupon you've ever seen in your life. So now we're going to turn this over and you're going to see some information about Mary Kay. Some of the top reasons why someone would consider a Mary Kay business. And we're going to play a game. And we're going to pretend that I'm not bribing you with this prize behind me. And we're going to pretend that you're so excited to get started with your Mary Kay business. And you just have one question left that you would want to know. And I've got a handful of tickets right here. You can do like 10 or however many. I've got a handful of tickets right here. And for every question that you ask me, you'll get a ticket. And at the end, I'll pick a random winner. Okay? So you get a ticket for every question you ask. So based off of this, you're going to ask me questions. And again, we're pretending here. Remember, take it away. We're pretending here. Okay? So who wants to ask the first question? Okay, so there might be a little bit like 10 seconds where they're like, they're reading. Some of them are reading. Some of them are like, I don't know what I would ask. Some of them are sold on the products and start asking you about the products. And then they're going to just start asking you questions. And the key with this, you're going to pass out a ticket for every question they ask. The key with this is to keep it very, very simple. Simple answers, enough information to where they get it answered, but simple enough to where they don't feel overwhelmed by all the details. For example, if somebody was like asking you, like, how do you earn a free car? You hear that all the time. You would say, awesome, great question. So you're edifying her and affirming her, making her feel good, complimenting her genuinely. And you say, okay, awesome. So what I'm hearing you say, so like you can repeat back to her of what she's saying just to make sure, you understand. Or you can even ask her some questions like, okay, so are you wanting to know, this is typically what I do. Are you wanting to know like how many hours a week you have to work to earn a car, or like what it actually takes? And sometimes they'll say hours, and I'll be like, well, if you work 15 to 20 hours a week in Mary Kay, that at that level, you'll be able to earn a free car. Would be my answer for that. If they wanted to know what specifically you do with car, do not go into, well, it's between 5 of your team members who have placed a $225 wholesale order, and you're doing $23,000 over the course of 4 months, and Don't do that, because she will get so shot out of the water. She will be so overwhelmed. She will not buy the bag because she will feel like it's so hard. Keep it light and simple, because she's not ready for that. And it's not that we're hiding details. It's just later on when she's ready for it, we will give her what she's ready for. It can be too much if it's like all thrown on her when she just tried the skincare for the first time, you know? So just think back to when you bought your kit and how nervous you were and how scared you were to commit to doing it. So if they asked me, how do you earn a free car? I would be like, well, it's a certain amount of sales and a certain length of time between you and your team. So it's it's based off of, that's not normally how I actually answer it. How I actually answer it is I say, well, it's between you and your team. It depends on your team size and how much you guys are selling as a team. That will determine what level of car you get. That's what I say. Or you can say, like Bree says, it's a certain amount of sales in a certain amount of time. And then you get to pick your car based off of how much sales that was. So just keeping it really, really simple because they cannot wrap their head around it. So also, like, are there any quotas? Are there any have-tos? Just sometimes what people can end up doing is being like, well, you place a $225 order and that keeps you active and you do it every 3 months and it gets you $450 worth of product. And if you go inactive, then you just place a $225 again. And they're like, whoa, I just wanted the bag. And now you just completely talked me out of it. So versus just being like, there are no quotas and no have-tos. If in the first year you do not place an order at all with Mary Kay, you just wouldn't be a consultant anymore and you could come back and it's only $25 if you ever wanted to. But what they're asking is they want you to place at least a $225 wholesale order once a year. But again, if you don't, nothing happens. You just aren't a consultant. Again, like literally just not a big deal because that is so the truth. Like if you are brand new and you haven't had anybody join your team, you will find out very quickly that sometimes people buy the bag and they never place that first order and it just never happens and they just got nervous and it had nothing to do with you. And, you know, nothing happens to them. It is they literally could buy the bag and sometimes me and Brie will say this, you could literally buy the bag and never talk to me again. That's how non-committed it is. But I also say like, I'd be really sad you did that, but you know. So anyway, it's important to do that. And don't always lead with the discount. The discount is the consolation prize, okay? We are looking for people who want to work the business because at the end of the day, personal use, Mary Kay Ash said, stands for PU. I think that's what Carol Anton said, stands for PU. Because there's nothing wrong with personal use people. A lot of nationals started because they wanted to be personal use. But if she is strictly personal use, like book a follow-up party with her and see if you could paint the picture of the business again, because she might just need more layering. But if she is strictly just for the business, you will make more income from her being a really strong customer versus her buying the bag and never talking to you again. Am I right? Okay. So then I let them ask these questions. And normally like Brie will say 10. I just say I have a handful and I've got my ticket roll right over here. So I'm handing them out until they stop asking me questions. I don't wait until there's no questions left because I kind of almost want to leave them wanting more a little bit. And then at the end I say, okay, great, you guys, those were awesome questions. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to draw a random winner. Okay, draw the ticket name. And then after that, I'll say, okay, so while it's fresh in your minds, you're going to take your customer profile and you're going to turn it over and there's going to be an area that's pink and it's going to say, don't write on here. And I usually say, well, we're going to write on there because it's Saturday and we do what we want on Saturdays. And I'll just make a joke of some kind, or if that's not your personality type, just be like, write anywhere in the pink. It doesn't matter. It's just for me. So in the pink area, or you can hold a profile up, show them where you're going to put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, question number 1, and I'll ask you the rest later, is based off of what you just heard about Mary Kay, from a 1 to a 10, what would your curiosity be in having a Mary Kay business? And 1 is I'd rather starve, or I'd rather eat dirt, whatever you connect to. I'd rather eat dirt. And a 10 is you're like, this sounds pretty cool. I might want to do this. And 5s are just confusing. So if you could stay away from 5, that would be super helpful. But that's just being on the fence, right? And being on the fence is kind of uncomfortable. You could say that part, or you could just say like 1 through 10. And then they write the number, and then that's something that we can revisit with them later at the end when we're doing the closing questions. Okay, so the other thing is that's really important, and Bree's going to train on this next week, I think, is the close. So now you're going into the sets, the starter kit. Oh, and it's very important too, at some point when you're sharing the opportunity, let them know how it works. So how do you join? Just $100 plus tax and shipping. Takes about 3 minutes to sign up. We can do it right now. So have some agreements next to you, because that does happen. And I call them, I don't call them agreements at the appointment. I actually say, just to get started, all you do is fill out a piece of paper. It orders your kit. It comes in 2 to 3 business days. And then we meet with you just to kind of connect and see what your goals are, and show you how the discount works and that sort of thing. It's just a piece of paper. Like, I sometimes even call it like an application or an order form, because that's all it is. It's an agreement, but they're just agreeing to not sell on eBay and Amazon, right? Okay, so it'll arrive in a big pink box with this tote and all these fun, I never read this. 2 to 3 days will arrive in a big pink box with this tote and all these incredible items you see here. Over $394 of full-size products. It's like the greatest Groupon ever, and includes everything you need to begin your Mary Kay business. So make sure they know how to sign up, because like at this point, it's kind of awkward if they don't. So then we go into sharing the sets with them. And then the starter kit is on there. And Bree's going to go over the clothes in a separate one. But I hope that was helpful for you guys. Remember, when you're sharing the opportunity, listen. If they are talking 80% of the appointment and you're talking 20%, those are your best appointments. Those people will sign up. So just focus completely on what's best for her. If Mary Kay is a good fit for her, don't just focus on what your goals are. If you're consistently getting in front of the faces, you're not going to need to be in that energy. You're going to actually be in a place of confidence and knowing that even if she doesn't do this, someone else will, and it's okay. And I want you to know that one person on your team or not on your team is not going to make you successful or not successful. They do not determine your success. You do. And you're going to have so many people on your team that one person in the scheme of things is not going to make or break your business. Just know that going in. And so you can just release it and just really enjoy and build relationships with people, because I have people that never have had interest with Mary Kay opportunity, but they felt safe enough to tell me that they didn't. And they're some of my strongest customers. It's silly that they pay full price. Very aware. But that's their choice, and I respect them, and I want to do what's best for them. And right now that's where they're at. So now going into booking people for a sharing appointment or sharing the opportunity, are you aware of what that looks like? So when you do a phone call with your director, or you do a coffee date or a Zoom or a Facebook Messenger video, when you do it it's like 20 to 30 minutes. It's an hour if they end up signing up typically, or if they're just like a C personality and want a lot of information. They'll be entered into the $1,000 Mary Kay shopping spree. You'll be entered to win $1,000 cash. And did you say yes at the appointment? Not everybody does. That's a lesson I had to learn. Not everybody signs up on the spot. A lot of people need time and layering. And so it's so important to get on the phone with your director. It trains you on how to share with people. It trains you more about the business and the company. It re-enrolls you into it so you can get re-motivated for your own business. So very important. I just had a moment that I got nervous. I wasn't recording this. So it's really important to share the opportunity. And it doesn't have to be somebody that's like 100% committed. They just have to have a little bit of interest. And I want to preface that with, they have to have tried the products. It's super awkward if they haven't tried the products, or if they haven't tried the products in a long time, but they have tried them in the past. Get them out for a facial first. I really believe that makes it really powerful when it's fresh in their mind. I like to book sharing appointments within 20 to 48 hours after their appointment, so it's fresh in their minds of how their skin feels. And when you share with people, again, 1 out of every 3 to 5 will join your team. With phone calls, it tends to be more like 1 out of 5. In person tends to be more like 1 out of 3, in my opinion. So, and your numbers might be different. So it's important to start doing them so you can track it. When you do 3 of those, you will get pearl earrings. So 3 sharing appointments, you'll get pearl earrings. 3 more, you get a pearl bracelet. And when you add your first team member, you get a pearl necklace. You're like, okay, I'm not prize motivated, Michelle. Well, remember those $50 bonuses for qualifieds when those people do join your team and work the business. And if anything, it will equip you with training. You'll get time with your director to connect with her, and you will get prizes, which is fun. And when somebody's wearing their pearls, they're a pearl girl in Mary Kay, and everybody knows they're going places. And behind those pearls, if you are power and achievement motivated, behind those pearls is your red jacket and potentially going on target for car when you have 5 people on your team. So get excited. All right, you guys, it's mathematical, not magical. Do you have, if you're doing this business for a career or like to build it big, do you have 10 appointments on your books in the next 2 weeks? If you do not have 10 bookings, that is your priority for today. If you are just doing it part-time, I would say, do you have 3 to 5 bookings on your books for the next 1 to 2 weeks? It is the holidays. People have time. They need help shopping. People do have time, believe it or not. Everybody thinks that they're super busy. They are super busy, but you know that saying, if you want something done, ask a busy person, right? It is a great opportunity with the new Chroma Fusion. They're going to be amazing Christmas presents, these little mini palettes. I'm even going to do it for my sisters and my mom. So have you ordered the new products? Are you using the new products? Because you cannot sell something you are not using, okay? So go out, make sure that you open a new product consistently to use on yourself so you know how it feels and you can share it. And that is the fastest way that you will get enrolled and excited about your business. And when you're excited, people will be excited too, and they will join your team. It's a $100 decision. It's not a big deal. Get in front of enough faces, you'll get the people on your team. And you will find people that end up being friends. You'll find people that you could help change their life. And you'll find people that you could just help them make a little extra income or get the discount. And it's awesome. So anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for being on this call. And I'm so excited to see what you achieve by the end of this month, this Friday. All right. Bye-bye.